I'm pretty sure that the Indianapolis Colts are going to go to the Super Bowl. Following an incredible Week 1 win over the Miami Dolphins, I think there's so much to hope for. We have some great news coming from the Colts camp following a dominating Week 1 win. We're going to cover all that. We're going to cover that and so much more in this video. What's going on? It's Elijah from Sports Talk Indy, where we cover all things Colts. And the Indianapolis Colts looked fantastic. They looked unbelievable on all aspects of the football. I don't want to say I told you so, but I did. I said there was reason to hope. I said there was a reason that this team was going to be good and that they had an opportunity to really shock a lot of people. I'm not saying that I'm buying into the Colts going to the Super Bowl, but I am saying that this Colts team is very, very good at football. Now, that being said, the Miami Dolphins are also terrible at football, but I think there's a lot to look forward to. And again, we have some massive good news. So what was the wins? The wins obviously being that the Colts were able to do anything they wanted to. They looked good. Daniel Jones looked fantastic. Absolutely unbelievable. The talk of the NFL is the revitalization of Daniel Jones's career, and he really shows that coming out of a toxic organization like the New York Giants, there's hope. Because Russell Wilson, playing for the New York Giants this year, looked terrible. He looked absolutely awful. So you see, when these guys get a fresh start, I think Daniel Jones has the opportunity to be the next Geno Smith, the next Sam Darnold, and all the Baker Mayfield who have a rough start to their career and then are able to do so much more in a positive system. That being said, the locker room is so back. You look at how these guys handled themselves, how they all played together, how the vibes on the field, it all looked incredible. It looked like a team that was really well put together, that was fundamentally from the start to finish unified. And it looked really, really good. I think there was, again, so much to look forward to. You saw guys, the free agent acquisitions this year, making immediate impact. There was so much intentionality to every single play, every single down. You had disguise coverages that was throwing everything off. Tua looks terrible. He looks like he might actually be closer to the nursing home than we thought. But this defense looks very, very good. They had Leatu Latu catching interceptions. Javarius Ward, obviously, doing what he does. Cam Bynum looked good. Xavier Howard immediately was a playmaker, exactly what we talked about last week, and I think that it's going to only continue from there. Now, the Colts this week have potentially the second or third hardest opponent that they will face this season, and I think it's not going to be an easy one. But I do think that you look at how the Broncos played against the Titans, I think the Colts have a real shot at coming away with a win. Now, here is where it's all going to come down to, and this is where our news comes in. Jonathan Taylor left last game, and it seemed as though he was leaving just because of the score, and it looked good. But what we actually found out, and if you paid attention to the game, Jonathan Taylor was injured for a good portion of the game. Now, I think there was a lot of people that were worried, and rightfully so, that Jonathan Taylor was going to miss some time. But the news that we have coming out of the Colts camp today is that that Jonathan Taylor would have been able to come back into the game had they felt that it was necessary or the game had gotten close. But the Colts didn't feel like it was necessary, and so they wanted to err on the side of caution with Jonathan Taylor's injury history, and that the neck injury was going to be fine. Other than that, no Colts players really sustained significant injuries. We have no update on Jalen Jones, but it does seem like he's doing okay. He's doing fine. Have not seen an injury report from him, but all things are going for the Colts right now. Every aspect of the game looked like it was intentional, looked like it was put together. No one was rushing or going about in a crazy fashion. It looked good. Daniel Jones looks fantastic. And again, I know it's 1 week, and we're trying not to get ahead of ourselves, but I also think that if we're not going to be positive, then what are we doing? But I think that there's an opportunity here for the Colts to build off of this. I mean, this is the first Week 1 win in over 11 seasons. So I think that this is the opportunity that we have to look ahead, to look at what this means for this Colts team and who are we looking forward to in the future. Because again, this Broncos team is not going to be an easy feat. Broncos team looks very good. Now, they looked not as good against the Tennessee Titans this weekend. But another good news that we have is that DJ Giddens looks fantastic. DJ Giddens, with every single drive or every single down that he got the football, he was making plays. His ball carrier vision looks fantastic. His ability to avoid contact looks good. He followed a new look offensive line at least, and looked fantastic. He had the ability to again avoid tackles and really get his way through. He looked like he had drive, was able to push through some guys. Looked very good. Another area that I think we need to complement and really give their dues is this defensive line. The Indianapolis Colts over the past 3 seasons have invested more into their defensive line than they have almost any position group, maybe aside from DBs this season. The Indianapolis Colts last year re-signed DeForest Buckner to an extension. They signed Grover Stewart. They drafted Leatu Latu this year. They brought in JT out of Ohio State, and they brought in Kwity Paye. They re-signed Tyquan Lewis. They've invested so much into this defensive line. All that, and they were able to get consistent pressure on Tua, stripping a sack, which was recovered by Xavier Howard. Again, they looked like an intentional team, and I think that this goes to show that Gus Bradley may run one of the most stale defenses that we've ever seen in the history of the NFL. I mean, it was absolutely awful, and yet you see one game out of Lou Anarumo's defense, and already looks fantastic. Looks really, really good. It looks intentional. It looks like it's done with play. There's disguised coverages. But not only that, you look at the offensive side of the ball, is that every single one of these receivers had the opportunity to catch a football, for one. Tyler Warren might be top 5 tight ends by the end of the season. Just looks incredible. His ability to get open, make plays. He ran the football. He had 9 catches for over 70 yards in his debut. Again, this is a guy that I think everyone on their draft board for the Indianapolis Colts had Tyler Warren on that board. And he's panning out. I mean, it's absolutely amazing. I think either the Colts or it was a Colts fan account tweeted out, "Thank you, Bears," because they obviously drafted Colson Loveland from Michigan instead of Tyler Warren. The Colts were able to go out and get the guy that they wanted to. He looked good. Adonai Mitchell looked good. Alec Pierce was able to make some incredible catches. Michael Pittman. I think Daniel Jones obviously can improve a little bit on accuracy, but if he is able to play every game like he played yesterday, I think we are going to be perfectly fine. Jonathan Taylor looked great running the football. The offensive line definitely has some rooms to grow. I think if there was one position group that I think could be improved, it would probably be the offensive line, only because what we saw was that Daniel Jones was pressured a little bit. Obviously didn't seem phased, was able to really go about and not get some serious hits on him or anything, but he looked good. He looked poised. But this offensive line I definitely think can improve. But again, this is the first in-season game that they're all playing together, and they really only played a few snaps together in preseason. So I think that's going to be something that's going to be attainable. But all in all, you look at this position group, and I have no negativity to say about this Colts team. I think they were able to do what they wanted to do against the Dolphins. And again, this is not a bad Dolphins defense. They have quite a bit of players, and I just think the Colts game planned better. They're getting their locker room back, and it really seems as though this is the start of what could be a really, really exciting season.